better represent their transition from a cryptocurrency to a pioneering platform that protects consumer data. They are working towards the day when anyone will be able to build privacy-based applications on the Horizen platform. The unique spelling of Horizen is a nod to their heritage and recognizes that they remain committed to the vision that their project was built upon. Their coin and ticker symbol remain ZEN. Learn more at horizen.global and join the Horizen community. HORIZEN.global. UPI reports consumer advocate groups are asking the Federal Trade Commission to investigate whether child-friendly mobile games available in the Google Play Store violate privacy laws by building a profile of the children. The Children's Online Privacy Protection Act prohibits the collection of geolocation data and other private information that could be sold to advertisers. The group of 22 consumer advocate groups filed a complaint with the FTC saying Google violates COPPA and its own policies with several of its games. Many of the games are targeted at preschool-aged children. Josh Golan, executive director of the Campaign for a Commercial-Free Childhood, said the business model for the Play Store's family section benefits advertisers, developers, and Google at the expense of children and parents. Google puts its seal of approval on apps that break the law, manipulate kids into watching ads, and making purchases. The complaint cites several examples of child-targeted games that access a phone's geolocation, including the app's Preschool Education Center and Top 28 Nursery Rhymes and Songs. You can support FPP Radio by joining the Fans program. Fans are friends, allies, and numerous supporters. You can join the Fans program for as little as $1 per month through Patreon and get perks like ad-free versions of FPP Radio News and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio. To learn more or to join the Fans program, visit fans.fppradio.com. Reuters reports the U.S. Senate on Tuesday overwhelmingly passed legislation long in the making and backed by President Donald Trump to reduce sentencing for certain prison inmates. By a vote of 87-12, the Republican-led Senate passed and sent to the House of Representatives the First Step Act, which would ease the way for some prisoners to win early release to halfway houses or home confinement. The legislation also aims to establish programs to head off repeat offenders and protect first-time nonviolent offenders from harsh mandatory minimum sentences. Earlier this year, the House passed a bipartisan bill focusing on prison reforms, which did not include the sentencing reforms. With little time left as Congress tries to wrap up its session this month, Senate proponents are hoping their broader version of the bill is accepted by the Republican-controlled House. Trump congratulated the Senate on passing the bill and said he looks forward to signing it into law. During Senate debate of the bill, Democratic Senator Dick Durbin noted that the United States has 5% of the world's population, but about 25% of the world's prisoners. He added that minorities bore the brunt of tough mandatory minimum sentences that judges have been directed to impose as a result of decades-old laws that have exploded the numbers of incarcerated people. In response to criticism from some conservatives that the legislation could prompt the release of violent criminals into society, the bipartisan measure was reworked to scale back the discretion judges would have in some sentencing cases. Before passing the bill, the Senate defeated amendments by Republican Senators Tom Cotton and John Kennedy that would have further tightened requirements. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
Our planet is but a giant petri dish swirling with pathogens, all mixed by the filthy stirring straw that is the world's fauna. Simply by sitting on her eggs and breathing, this duck unleashes a torrent of avian botulism, cholera, and duck plague into the air. These jousting elk slough off bits of skin and fur, sending millions of harmful bacteria into the air. Our closest relative, the chimpanzee, is itself the fountainhead of AIDS. Bitter at the ascendancy of man, these scheming apes brood this deadly virus in their jungle lairs. Nowhere on Earth is safe from the threat of animals. Even in the bitter wasteland of the Antarctic, penguins walk for miles inland, ensuring their afflictions reach every corner of the globe.
This is the Onion News Network.
The Call to Freedom is an opinion show. It's meant for informational purposes only. It is not licensed financial advice. It is very important to do your own analysis before making any investment based on your own personal circumstances. You should take independent financial advice from a professional in connection with or independently research and verify any information that you hear from the Call of Freedom and wish to rely upon, whether for the purpose of making an investment decision or otherwise. I mean, come on, guys. Duh. It's a cryptocurrency investment and a political talk radio. Of course, it's opinions.
Computers are online. I'm gonna start loading software.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Call to Freedom.
Broadcasting live from Vertcoin Studios on LRN FM.
You're listening to Will.
You will listen to every damn word I have to say!
And Aria.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Stay tuned for political talk and everything crypto. That's right.
Broadcasting internationally on our BitPlus network satellite.
This is
The Call to Freedom.
All right, let's boot it up.
That's right. Welcome into the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. We are broadcasting live from the Horizon.Global Studios here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. Wow, the two choices are blowing me out. Or looks like, oh, there we go. Much better. Anyway, so it is Wednesday. Hi, everyone. Yes, that's right. I am here. It's been
You missed the fun yesterday.
It's been an interesting week. Yeah, it's been an interesting week. So let's see here. First, wifey's got like a cold or something. I'm not sure what.
It happens.
Yes, it does. And then, well, we've got my son's birthday was yesterday. He turned 9. So there's that. And we took care of that yesterday. So cake and ice cream and all those fun things. And then it's like,
right.
What do you want to do for your birthday? Where do you want to eat? Since we didn't get to do a big party this year, all we did was presents, and he got some boss presents. When the ones that he hasn't got yet get here in the mail, you're gonna want at least one of them.
I am?
Yes.
Why? What are they?
It's 200 of the most classic games.
Oh,
so
wow.
We're talking Dig Dug, we're talking Super Mario, we're talking Sonic 1. We're talking, like mix matched all on one little handheld. Looks like, remember the Sega Game Gear?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it looks like a Game Gear, but a little bit smaller and green.
Nice.
Yeah, and my wife picked it up for like $25.
Wow.
Yeah, and
was that on like Wish or something?
Amazon.
Wow.
Yeah. So we did that. And then I got him some STEM learning toys. So one of them is like a Smithsonian fossilized thing, like dinosaur fossils and stuff, which he is into.
Right.
And then on the way here...
Yeah, we attempted to cover it the other day. We actually recently discovered a dinosaur that had feathers. It was from the New York Times, and the reason we attempted to cover it rather than covering it was that it started off with a statement something along the lines of, birds have feathers that are colorful and that help them fly, which was among the most obvious and dumb things I've ever read, and it was from the New York Times. Once considered the epitome of intelligent writing, now felt the need to explain to people what birds are and how feathers help them fly.
Yeah.
It was seriously depressing. And then we started talking about that.
Wow. Wow.
It was really bad.
Yeah.
Birds have colorful feathers that help them fly. Well, thank you. I'm so glad the New York Times enlightened me on that.
Right. So it's unusual. It's an unusual thing that this happened, that we have good news to share on the show. But we do. Oh, well, at least I think we do. We're not completely sure. I mean, it could be like
we have potentially incredible news.
Yeah, potentially incredible news. Potentially. Now, it was potentially incredible news when Obama said we're leaving Iraq.
It's true.
And it didn't really,
happen.
So, I mean, maybe we're hoping, or really, really, really hoping, this isn't BS. But this from USA Today, story's only about 4 or 5 hours old. This just happened a few hours ago, about 11 o'clock this morning. I came home from work, and my phone was like, ba-ding, 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 ba-ding. And I was like, what is this? Trump orders U.S. troops out of Syria? Now this is the funny part, declares victory over ISIS.
I mean, that's what you got to do. It's what we did in Vietnam.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only way to extricate yourself from these kind of situations when you got the kind of national pride that we do is go, oh, well, we won, so we're coming home.
Senators slam action as a mistake. Oh, let's see I want to see which senators.
Well, John McCain is dead,
so that only leaves a couple. Let's see here. President Donald Trump called Wednesday for a U.S. withdrawal from Syria over the apparent objections of many military advisors and a bipartisan group of lawmakers. Wouldn't you know, of course, when the war machine is like, hey, we got money to spend. Why are you cutting off an income stream here?
Yeah.
Of course, the reaction to say, well, no, we should keep that going is bipartisan. I can't wait to hear Bernie Sanders come out and be like, we should stay in Syria. The withdrawal of more than 2,000 troops is based on Trump's decision that the mission against ISIS is complete. A U.S. official told the USA Today.
I love it. Oh, my God.
The Russians bombed the hell out of them. We can come home now. Military leaders, including Defense Secretary Jim Mattis, in recent weeks and months have spoken of the need for U.S. troops to remain in the eastern part of the country to help stabilize it and allow for peace negotiations to proceed. Is that like the peace negotiations like the U.S. has in the western portion of Palestine? Because you know what borders the eastern portion of Syria?
I don't have any idea.
Israel.
Okay.
And you know,
Sorry.
That's the Golan Heights. That's the part of Syria that Israel's like, that we want that. So of course the Americans are like, no, we got to stay here. So even